Welcome to this world. In this world, there are endless trees reaching as far as the eye can see, to the mountains, to the lakes, to the ocean, all trees. And in one particularly large old oak tree lives an ancient witch. But not the sort of witch you hear about in tales of yore. No, this witch doesn't stoop over a crane or have boils on their nose. This witch is a small but mighty force of nature. For someone who's over 100 years old, the magic of this place has kept her looking younger and nimbler than most human younglings. This witch goes by the name of Aya Eltheron. This tale is about her journey, her adventures, her failings, and her victories. But she is not alone. It will take many a friend, many a sacrifice for Aya to come out of this story alive and in one piece. And more importantly, as Aya. As the sun sets over the tree tops in the land of Aya, stars begin to twinkle in the sky like iridescent metal shards. The moon pops its face over the horizon and lights a path across the lake in the valley below. At the top of a tall ancient tree overlooking the great valley is a small treehouse. It has a little slate roof and wooden walls. Out of the tiny chimney flows smoke of a mixture of colours, mostly grey and black, but occasionally sparks of red, purple, pink, and blue emerge. As the night draws in, the glow from the windows of the treehouse shines a soft amber light on the surrounding branches of the tree. There is a calm tranquillity within the forest. Pop, bang, wham, boom! Explosions and clanging set the forest alive with noise, and the peace is no more. Aya the witch is at it again. Aya, the local forest witch, has a deep fascination with ancient artifacts. For such a small person at only 1 meter tall, she has the strength of an elephant and the agility of a leopard, which makes her a great treasure hunter. Recently, Aya has been down a local cave on an adventure to find a new material. You see, Aya isn't an ordinary witch. She has a deep fascination with alchemy, and it's truthfully just mixing things together to see what happens. She found a large book about 70 years ago with loads of ingredient lists and recipes that make no sense to her or her friend Peck, who I will introduce later. Regardless to say, Aya has been on a lifelong journey to make every recipe in the old book, and she has sniffed out one of the most important ingredients in the book, the jewel of epochs. Back in the treehouse, Aya is hard at work, her witch's hat firmly on her head, alchemy goggles, overalls, and gloves covered in soot, but therefore protection from the corrosive magical compounds she surrounds herself with. On the table in front of her, there is a collection of alchemical instruments, from beakers to vials of coloured liquid to distillation apparatus. It's a fully functional laboratory. At the far end of the room, there is a fireplace with a cauldron bubbling away over a fire. Strange, viscous-coloured liquid, covering the edges of the cauldron and pearlescent in nature, fluctuates with the currents of the flames. As she stands there, hard at work, muttering to herself, she gazes over to the far side of the lab desk. There, sitting in a glass beaker, floats the jewel of epochs in all its glory. Majestic as it is, it also emanates a sense of wrongness that can't be described. A sense of do, but don't. And this excites Aya immeasurably.
Oh, it's really cool.
Aya finishes preparing the ingredients on the lab desk. They are all ready to be placed into the cauldron over the fire, measured with absolute precision as the ancient book prescribes. She refers to the book one more time before she picks up the first 2 ingredients and chucks them into the cauldron. Sparks fly and small pops and crackles can be heard. The smell of burning ingredients fills the room with a pleasant earthly smell, Aya has a good feeling about this recipe and smiles with glee and excitement. After she has placed all the base ingredients in the cauldron, she walks over to her desk to grab her brass tongs and her small diamond-tipped hammer. She walks over to the jewel of epochs. She slowly removes the jewel from the glass beaker with her brass tongs, being careful not to move it too quickly. She places the jewel on the table and refers to the ancient book one more time. Taking her hammer in her right hand and raising it to the sky, she mutters a spell.
Open up the land afar, the place unknown to ancient stars. Collide the worlds to make a whole, return the life that people stole.
And with that, Aya lowers the hammer with the speed and power of a mighty warrior. As the hammer strikes the jewel, time dilates, energy compounds, and in that moment, all is still. Aya looks down and sees that a fragment of the jewel has broken off, small enough to place in Aya's tiny hand. Exactly what the ancient book described. She picks up the small fragment with her brass tongs and walks slowly over to the cauldron. Gently, she lowers the fragment into it. As the fragment touches the bubbling liquid, nothing happens. Aya gently submerges the entire fragment and releases the prongs, stepping back, waiting for something to happen. Nothing does. Did she miss something? Aya, confused, turns towards the ancient book. As she does so, she senses a small pulse emitting from the cauldron. It is such a tiny change in the feeling of the room, the atmosphere stilling, a calm silence brushing Aya's existence. In the corner of her vision, she can see the flames of the fire underneath the cauldron, frozen in time, the tree leaves in the window, smoke and dust trapped in a fixed state. The moment passes, and all resumes its natural order. Fire burns, wind blows, dust and smoke flows. All seems normal.
Darn it!
Aya shouts out to herself. Aya has a tendency to talk to herself a lot.
Why didn't this work? I did everything to the book. Maybe that little blip in time is all this is about. Oh, it can't be. So boring if it is.
Aya sits in her armchair, feeling deflated by the revelation that her hard work resulted in, well, very little. She is miserable when she doesn't get a result that she is happy with. Grumpy Aya, her friends call her. She doesn't like being called grumpy. She is in a full-blown grump when she hears some incessant knocking at the window. Tap, 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 tap. The knocking goes. With every tap, the knocking increases in intensity. Aya jumps out of her armchair, still in full grump, and shouts,
Why on the ancient tree are you tapping so loud? I'm coming for leave's sake.
She makes her way over with haste and swings open the window. There, perched on an ancient oak branch, stands a massive, majestic black crow. Its black, glossy feathers reflecting the light of the fire coming from the house and the silver moon shining down from the sky. Its beak as smooth and solid as onyx. Peg is one of Aya's oldest friends. They've been together since the beginning of Aya's adventures, flying from land to land on the search of mysterious artifacts. Peg is the sensible friend, the one you can count on to keep you in check if you are about to do something incredibly stupid. He is the best of friends and is always there for Aya through thick and thin. Peg shouts out,
Aya, Aya, Aya.
Aya, annoyed in her tone, says,
What is it, Peg? I'm in a rotten mood. Nothing is going right for me. I'm going to give up on all this magic stuff. It's a waste of time. Think I might just turn into an old raisin. I was never good at this. I should never have.
Peg realizes Aya is in one of her grump moods, where she gives up on everything and just moans for several hours. He doesn't have time for this nonsense right now. He says,
Aya, what have you done? Snap out of it. This is important.
Aya, stunned, says,
What are you on about, Peg? I've done nothing. I've just been throwing things into the cauldron, trying to follow the final recipe in the book. Nothing happened though. It was so boring.
Peg cuts in, saying,
Something damn well happened, Aya. I was sitting in my tree enjoying a tasty bit of roast corn when a strange, annoying little creature popped into existence right next to me. The annoying little thing tried to steal my corn. No one steals my corn, Aya. I tried to chase it away, but then, like it popped into existence, it popped out. With my corn, Aya. My wonderful corn.
Aya, still frustrated, says,
Oh, calm yourself, Peg. You must have been dreaming. You always dream about roasted corn. It's all you talk about these days. Little creatures stealing corn sounds silly to me. Although, what did the creature look like?
Peg, slightly shocked by Aya's disbelief, says sarcastically,
Thanks for understanding me. Really nice of you.
letting the small jab lie for a second, and Aya rolling her eyes. Peg continues on.
If you would like to know, the little creature was strange indeed. It had a very large round head, shaped a bit like a light bulb. You know, the things we saw in the electric-powered town. It had eyes the shape of water droplets and a tiny body. For hands, it had clamp-like claws, which it used to steal my corn. And the reason I couldn't catch it was that it had big wheels instead of legs. You know, the ones you find on wooden carts. Now that I describe this to you, it does sound a bit crazy.
Aya looks at Peg with the I told you so face of smugness, nodding her head, trying to come across like she believes Peg. But she really doesn't. Peg gets the hint and is about to unleash some Peg annoyance on Aya. As he is about to say something, he stares off into Aya's room, stuck in a state of shock. Aya notices this sudden change of mood instantly. She sees where he's looking and turns around with haste. Right next to her lab equipment stands a strange little creature in the exact same description that Peg has mentioned. It's moving around, messing up Aya's lab, smashing vials, tearing things off her desk. Aya stands stunned. After a second, a massive grin appears on Aya's face. She has done something with her tinkering after all, and that fills her with mischievous glee.
I got potions in my pocket.